So over to the photographic print that's now been laminating. It's been in there for about 5 minutes. We're going to switch the machine off, undo the latches. Okay. There's a photographic print that's had the same treatment. So it's just had the surface of the print laminated. You'll notice that we've actually used 2 different laminating films. The first print that the paper print, we've actually used a product called Satin Matte or Mattex heat seal film. This time we're using Gloss Luster or Satinex heat seal film. And again, you'll notice that it's got quite a large border all the way around. Again, for once we've mounted it onto the canvas and the heat seal film will be stretched around the back. Okay, so again, we need to remove the release paper. Now, you'll notice that we're actually working on top of the vacuum press here. There's a good reason for that, which is why because when we're using photographic prints, it's good to try and keep the emulsion warm. It helps stop the emulsion from cracking. So by working on top of the press, and you'll notice that I'm actually putting the silicone release paper just back down. By working on top of the press, that keeps the emulsion nice and soft. So when we're actually stripping it and when we're taking the emulsion off the backing paper, it's not going to end up cracking. Across one of the shortest edges, we'll start in one of the corners, we'll bend it over my finger. Then I'm going to get my fingernail, dig into between the emulsion and the backing paper. And we're going to start splitting it so that the actual paper has started to split. Always work with the photograph face up. It always has to be face up so that you're taking the plastic off the backing paper. Never work with it face down. So we're going to work across one of the shortest edges. As I say, just folding it back on itself. I'm just going to pull it back on itself. Just keep working across that shortest edge. Bring it down a little bit down the length of the print. Okay, so we've got the lead edge running all the way across started. We're actually going to be using a metal bar or a piece of wooden dowel. We're going to drop that onto the heat seal film. Roll up the heat seal film, okay, to the edge of the print, and then holding the paper down, we're just going to pull the heat seal film back, taking the emulsion with us. You can see that it's stripping here. Again, roll it up, pull it back, roll it up, and pull this towards us a little bit. So roll it back. Again, roll it up. And just keep working all the way down. You can see once it's started, it gets quite easy. Take the silicone release film away. Again, roll it up. And just keep following the same action until you get to the very end. And you can see there that the print, you can see the image of the print coming through. So the print is very thin. This will then want to take on the texture of the canvas coming through from the bottom. So back over to the table, and you'll notice that now we've got this one stripped. We're going to put this to one side. We're going to concentrate on the one that's soaking in the bath of water. For this, we're going to need something that's flat and shiny. In this case, we're going to be using a piece of acrylic or Perspex. You can see that it's been used many times before for demonstrations. Piece of glass, anything like that's fine. So we can just lay it onto our work surface. Take the print that's been soaking in the bath of water. It does get a little bit wet. Your work surface will be a little bit wet, so have some paper towels on standby. We're going to put this, again, face up the same way that we did with the photographic print. You'll notice that this is going to be a little bit easier than it was with the photographic print. Okay, so we've smoothed it out. And again, let's just start. I'll move it into so that we can see it. We'll start in one corner. And then again, the idea here, the Perspex, is actually going to be keeping the backing paper nice and flat and actually sucked down. So the suction of it is going to keep it down. You'll notice again that the print is looking very thin. and comes off, as I said, slightly easier than it was with the photographic print. Okay, so there we've got a nicely stripped print. We can move that out of our way, lay that back down onto the work surface. Again, just make sure that there's no bits of debris on the back of the print. Now, the process now reverts back to the same way. So the photographic print that you see here, again, it's stripped. The paper print is being stripped, so mounting it onto the canvas is done in exactly the same way. So heat sealing and laminating the surface of the print is done the same way. The second process, you either wet strip paper prints, dry strip photographic prints, and then we're going to mount it back onto the canvas. So we'll move the picture just out of the way slightly. This is our canvas. This is an adhesive coated canvas which has got a protective release liner on there. This has got a heat activated glue already on here. It's a beige, what we call traditional canvas, which has got a heat activated glue on the one surface and protected by a release liner. So what we do is that the actual canvas is cut slightly larger than the heat seal film. We're going to fold back the release liner and put a crease in there. Okay, we'll take our paper print. Okay, so we now need to mount the picture onto the canvas. We need to line up the print with the weave and the weft of the canvas so it's running nice and square. So we just offer it up, make sure it's in the centre of the canvas. We can then look through the heat seal film, look at the edge of the print, make sure that it's all nicely lined up, smoothed out. Don't worry about any creases that are on the actual heat seal film. That's going to go around the back of the stretcher bar anyway. Okay, so again, we can just roll up the print, pull some of the release liner off, expose some more of the adhesive on the canvas. We can then, we turn it away from ourselves, it's a little bit easier. Just rub the print down, taking away some of the release liner. Again, just rubbing the print down as we go. Just keep on going. Always good to keep it away from any heat at this stage, because if the heat starts to activate the adhesive, it does become quite a strong bond. So just smooth it out again. Don't worry about any of the creases. Okay. We then need to, you'll notice that the actual canvas is larger than the heat seal film. If we were to put this into the press now and we need to cover this with foam so that the foam is going to push the print down into the texture of the canvas. The overhang of adhesive from the canvas will stick to the foam. So what we're going to do is we're just going to trim the canvas so that it's exactly the same size as the heat seal film. So we're just going to come in about a centimetre or about half an inch from the edge of the heat seal film, trimming off the excess. All the way around. We've still got plenty of canvas there to stretch around to the back. Okay, and that's ready now to go back into the press. So, lift the lid of the press up. Again, it's, as I said earlier, it's going to go under the foam, so we'll just move the foam out of the way. Take the print onto the base of the press, cover it with the foam, and we're going to switch that on. And that's going to take around about 3 to 4 minutes in the press. Okay, so now that it's been processed in the press, we've taken it out, and you can see there that the canvas, you can see the canvas effect coming through from the back, and also the deckled edge that gives it quite a nice touch.